Most people have never heard her name, but on the day when even the bravest warriors turned and ran, she stood tall. Nusayba bint Ka'b, a woman who defended the Prophet Muhammad with her life. This is her story, and once you hear it, you'll never forget it. Nusayba bint Ka'b al-Ansariya, also known as Ammara, was from the Banu Najjar tribe in Medina. She was among the earliest people in Yathrib, now Medina, to accept Islam, even before the Prophet migrated there. At a time when women were barely acknowledged, Nusayba didn't just live in the shadows. She stepped into history with courage and dignity. She was a mother, a wife, and later a fearless fighter. She was also present during the second pledge of Aqaba, pledging loyalty to the Prophet, peace be upon him, alongside men, becoming one of the few women who made that historic promise. The Battle of Uhud was one of the darkest days for the Muslims. The tide had turned, chaos spread, many companions retreated. The Prophet, peace be upon him, was exposed, wounded, vulnerable, and in that moment when many strong men dropped their swords, Nusayba stepped forward. She wasn't even there to fight. She had come to give water and treat the wounded, but when she saw the Prophet under attack, she grabbed a sword and fought like a lioness. She positioned herself in front of the Prophet, shield raised, sword in hand. She fought relentlessly, one enemy after another. She took 12 wounds that day, deep, bleeding cuts, but she didn't stop. The Prophet himself said, "Whenever I turned to my left or right during the battle, I saw Ammara fighting to protect me." Imagine that, the Prophet shielded by a woman. Her bravery didn't stop with her. Her 2 sons were also in the battle. One of them was injured, and she treated him, then told him to get back up and fight. Can you imagine that kind of courage? She later said, "I saw the enemies approaching the Prophet, and I stood in front of him to defend him. I struck their swords back until my arms were tired. Even when injured, bleeding, she stayed on her feet." The Prophet, peace be upon him, saw her bravery and made dua for her and her family. That dua was, "O Allah, make them my companions in paradise." Nusayba didn't stop after Uhud. She was also present at the Treaty of Hudaybiyah at Hunain, and even during the battle against Musaylama the Lear, where she lost one of her arms. Even at an older age, she picked up her sword again. She wasn't fighting for fame. She was fighting for truth, for justice, for the Prophet she loved so deeply. Today, we talk about equality, empowerment, courage. But over 1400 years ago, Nusayba bint Ka'b isn't just a historical figure. She is a reminder that Islam elevated women, that courage knows no gender, and that true love for the Prophet, peace be upon him, means sacrifice, even if it costs you everything. Let's not forget her. If this story inspired you, share it. Let her name live on. Subscribe for more true Islamic stories that history almost forgot.